Well, this is the day after I went down to my south apiary and I downsized colonies, and I brought an extra deep that I'd given them a month ago and a extra medium with honey in both of them and bees, and I brought them back to home base to add to my new colonies that I created this year. I do have some arranging to do to get the numbers right, but I'll do that after they've calmed down, wait a few days at my leisure whenever I have time, and get all the numbers to match. This is 25. They lost their queen and they didn't have any brood, so I gave this colony extra. I gave them 78. 78 probably has a little bit of brood. Try to get them caught up. And then this is let me pause that. I gotta get there. This frame here, this inner cover frame, is actually one of these with number 8 wire cloth on it. Yesterday morning I started looking for the queens when I pulled off that extra deep, and then I started running out of time because one of them gave me a hard time. I couldn't find her. So what I did is I went ahead, I took away part of the hive, and I assumed there'd be a queen in it. And of 15 deeps that I brought back, 8 of them had queens that I found this morning, and 6 of them had queen cells started already, and then another one didn't have queen cells, but they were noisy. But I'm not going to combine those until I go back to the colony they came from, because I made notes and check, make sure they have a queen. But these here that I actually took the queens out of before I loaded them on the truck and brought them up here. I didn't put them on last night, I just put them on this morning, so it's over 24 hours. I don't expect to have any issues. This is the original colony right here, and this deep right here is one of the deeps from the colony down south. And I don't see any issues of them running down there and killing that queen after 24 hours since they had a queen. That just saves me time. I don't have to go back through and do it later. That way they can get access to that queen. And I left an access hole for the colony down below, and this colony here has only one access hole. And then when I verify there's no queen in here, I'm going to pull this out, and these bees will still be used to going, it'll be a little bit lower, but they'll still be used to coming to that area. It's one way to strengthen your colonies, because the colonies I had in the south apiary, where they were too big, I found some queen cells that were started. So they were getting ready to probably swarm at the September sometime. And I did checkerboard them a month ago, and I put that extra deep on, and they filled out a lot of new foundation. And while I was doing that out there, these are the smaller colonies. When I was getting the small colonies, I didn't get enough of them. I ran out of time that day, and I ended up putting 105, which was a small colony, down at the bottom. And I usually walk around a couple times a day, check, see what's going on. And there was a cluster of bees there on 105 when it was down there. So I scooped up the queen with the bees, and this is my container that I scoop them up in. It's clear, and I can see when I get bees in here, I can see if there's a queen in there. And then I take them into the room here, close the doors, and up against the doors here with a glass in them, I let them out, and I usually find the queen. If she's flying, she'll go to that glass, and then I put her in a queen cage. So anyway, this is how I feed them on the inside. I got a lot of stuff in here that got to be moved out eventually. And I don't think the robbers, I haven't had issues with robbers finding this feeders here because it's on the opposite side of the hive. And I'm going to seal this off with fabric. And they haven't been robbed yet. So that's the kind of advantage of having them on the inside. Robbers can't find it. And this one here, I still have some large colonies that didn't get taken anywhere this summer. I'm going to take some broods from the large colonies. And I've got that queen in the cage. I'm pretty sure this colony just pretty much disintegrated. And I got a queen excluder down here in the bottom, and there's no access hole on the top. And this colony's pissed for some reason. But the robbers didn't get in the hive, so I don't know what irritated them, why they wanted to abscond. The small colonies have a hard time staying where they're supposed to, where you want them to, so they abscond a lot. And I was going to add frames to that as soon as I got that stuff rearranged outside from my south apiary, but they already made a decision to try to leave before I was ready to do anything. And they weren't happy with the queen because they wanted her to leave right away, and she didn't leave, so they were actually balling their own queen. So I'm going to get some brood, put in there, leave the queen in the cage for a couple days. And the reason why I didn't want her on the bottom is I got to do some electrical work next few days. So she's at the top now. And if they get extra bees from that colony, that's good. And that way, in a couple days, I could even look and see how she's doing tomorrow. And when I verify that she's okay and they've accepted her, and the brood that I put in their nurse bees have accepted her, I can easily get access and let her out. Whereas if she was down at the bottom, I'd have to move all that. It's like a 15-20 minute process. So, and then I've moved a lot of the smaller colonies were moved over to the south side of the garage, and those are the ones that got the bees from my south apiary. And I slid these down, and all the bees, all the hives that were here, all the bees that were here, they'd end up going over here to these few. So I'm gonna say these colonies right here are gonna be large enough to winter outside. I may have to put SERP on them, but they're gonna get slid down eventually down here, and they're going to face the south and get moved over to those colonies there were taken south yesterday. So anyway, it's a lot of work, but if you want to not spend any money on queens, you know, if you buy queens and you split your colonies early in the summer, you don't have to go through this hassle. But I breed all summer long. So the colonies that were created a new queen in midsummer, they don't have enough honey and enough bees to get through winter. So that's why I took my colonies from last year, made honey and made a lot of bees out of them, and I brought them up, put them in my small colonies, so I don't have to really feed them a whole lot of syrup, maybe just a little, but I brought back a lot of honey, even on deep frames and medium frames. So good advantage there to doing that. And eventually I'm going to have several apiaries, and some of the honey is going to be sold, and I'll just take off what I need for the new colonies I make every summer. There's going to be a limit on how many colonies I can make. You can take virgin queens to different locations, but you can't do all of them here because I only have 2 commercial beekeepers besides myself. And I estimate there's like 70, 80 colonies for drones in it. So I can only do so many virgin queens here. If I want to do more, I just locate commercial bees and I ask somebody, hey, can I put some of these colonies in your property? I know a lot of people all over from all the electrical work I've done. So, okay, thank you.